Hi everyone, I'm MaryAnn. I'm a visual artist and voice coach from Singapore, currently in Singapore, and welcome to day 94 of my 100-day Live Your Dreams vlog series. So if you're someone who has a dream and you want to make it come true and you don't really know how to get started, or you've already started taking action but you're feeling stuck and confused, you don't know whether this is really the right thing for you, well, I'm here to share whatever it is that I've learned in my journey of pursuing my dreams and of creating a worthy and meaningful purpose for myself, in the hopes that whatever I've shared can better help you frame whatever it is that you're going through in your own journey, such that you have more clarity and you can continue taking powerful action towards making those dreams of yours come true. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can directly message me through any one of my social media links which are in the write-ups attached to these videos. So yesterday I shared about how I've dropped the words good and bad from my vocabulary when it comes to describing my process towards going after my dreams or my progress or anything that I've done really. I've stopped looking in terms of good versus bad because I think that these words are very emotionally loaded because they're how most of us grew up. You know, when we behave, we're told that we're being good, and when we misbehave, we become bad. And so I find that, these words really don't forward me at all in my journey of my evolution, and I've started instead to look at what works versus what doesn't work. And a few days ago, I talked about how we want to cultivate a sense of self-awareness and start to pay attention to the different parts of ourselves and getting in touch with ourselves again, such that we can work better with ourselves to get closer towards our dreams and to expand ourselves and grow ourselves. And one of the ways that I develop a sense of self-awareness in my own life is every single day at the end of the day. As far as possible, I try to do it every day. Sometimes I just get too tired to do it. But whenever I'm not that tired and I can still, stay awake for a few more minutes, I do this daily reflection where every single day I write down what has worked for me today, what hasn't worked today, and what can be better for tomorrow. What can I improve on tomorrow, and any learnings and realizations that I had over the day. And I find this to be really helpful because it is a very functional way of reflecting on the day that we've had. Otherwise, the only vocabulary that you have would be I had a good day versus I had a bad day versus I had an okay day. But what does any of that really mean? And I find that by taking the time to reflect upon the different parts of my day, because your day is not just, an overall thing, right? Like you have stuff that happen in the morning, you have things that happen like before lunch, during lunch, after lunch, after work, on the way home. There's so many different segments of your day that it's really hard to just use the words good or bad to quantify the entire day. So I find that looking at what works and what doesn't work when it comes to how I have gone about my day, it helps me to better frame the choices that I've made during that day and to see whether these actions that I've taken have taken me closer towards my goals and my dreams and the outcome that I want for that day, or it's taken me further or set me back a few more steps. And after many, many days of doing this, in fact, I've been doing this now for about 3 years. Again, like I said, not every single day because there are days when I just get too tired, or some days where I have projects and I get really busy. But as far as possible, I try to keep this up. I started to notice over time, and also because every week I would read back on what I've written over the week, I would start then to notice certain patterns that I may have. Like for example, maybe after lunch, I always tend to get sleepy at a particular point. And this comes from many, many times of writing. What doesn't work? Taking a nap after lunch when I'm not supposed to. Or not setting an alarm when I want to take a nap. And I start to realize that there's a certain pattern that keeps repeating there. And then in terms of improvement, I can decide then how do I want to improve on this. Maybe during that time where I'm very sleepy, I can do things that don't require me to just be sitting still at a computer. Maybe I can do something that requires me to move around a bit so that I get past that sleepy stage. Or if there are times when I'm really, really tired and I'm already falling asleep and I cannot keep my eyes open for whatever reason, then it's about setting a certain alarm in order to wake myself up at a certain time so I can continue doing the work that I need to do. And then in terms of how much time do I want to set this alarm for, it's hard to determine that too if you don't actually keep track of how much time you're setting that would actually work for you in terms of taking a power nap. So I found that, every single day when I track my progress every single day in terms of what works, what doesn't work, what can be improved for the next day, and any learnings and realizations that I have, it helps me to see how I am progressing in terms of my day-to-day life. Because when it comes to our goals and our dreams, and I've said this at the very beginning of this vlog series, it is not that, it's not something that's going to happen overnight. And it's not something that you put in a bit of effort now and then tomorrow you're suddenly the person that you want to be and you can achieve everything that you want to. Well, our life happens in the day-to-day. Our life happens from hour to hour, from moment to moment. And if you're not aware of how you are progressing, even during that one day of your life, how then can you be certain that you are progressing over the weeks of your life, over the months of your life, and over the years that would eventually lead you to fulfilling that dream that you have and fulfilling whatever it is that's important to you? So that sense of self-awareness that we want to cultivate starts on a daily basis, starts on a moment-to-moment basis. And this is one way that I have found really useful for myself. It may not be useful for you. Maybe for you a weekly recap is better. But for me, a daily recap really helps because then it breaks down every single thing that I've done today, as far as I can remember, of course, into what works and what doesn't work. And then I have more clarity about what I can improve on for the next day. Again, not about becoming a better me tomorrow, but rather specific areas that I can improve on, specific choices that I make that I can improve on, specific actions that I take that I can improve on, such that the next day overall would be an improvement from the previous day. And of course also recording any learnings and realizations along the way, because they will come up too as I'm going about my day doing whatever it is that I'm doing. So if you have found this video useful and you like it, subscribe to my channel on YouTube or like my Facebook page wherever you're seeing this on. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can directly message me through any one of my social media links which are in the write-ups attached to these videos. And I'll see you tomorrow.